Every Saturday, my intern Jared corrals Let's Play Deathray into shenanigans in the podcast Nobody's Listening. Now be a good intern, Jared, and hit the record button.
As promised, I got the voiceover work in. I've got all the sound effects, and I am the happiest of campers. And Jake will be hearing all of these for the very, very first time. Kyle, if he decides to ever show up, will hear him for the first time. And David, when he is not being a good son, will hear all of them. And we have a special guest here today. His name is Eric from Fire Entertainment.
Hear any of them? I didn't hear it. If you were playing a drop, I did not hear it.
What the fuck are you talking about? Did you not open the screen and listen to the audio? Did you not do that?
I did not. I'm in the Discord channel.
What did I say at the beginning, Jake? I'm gonna share my screen, open it up, and cue it up so you can listen to the sound.
Yeah, you have to click the view stream or whatever it is.
Yeah, okay.
Put up.
No, I've done that now.
Oh my god. Do you want me to give it? Do you want to try again? Fine. You know what? Let's fucking do it again, all right? Let's fucking do it again.
I hope you leave all of this.
Every Saturday, my intern Jared corrals Let's Play Deathray into shenanigans in the podcast Nobody's Listening. Now be a good intern, Jared, and hit the record button.
It's almost somehow better the second time around. You know, when you can.
I ask you why it's called Pokemon Good Boy?
Yeah, it tells me what it is. I label the sound effect so I know exactly what sound effect it is. It's the Pokemon Good Boy start.
What does it have to do with Pokemon?
Oh, that's
intro music.
Yeah. Have you not heard the Pokemon Go app?
No.
Yeah, that's the little somebody remixed it, and that's the intro start to it.
Okay.
So
now it all
did you not know that that's like the Pokemon theme for all these years? Are you the one person who's been on the show who doesn't play Pokemon, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of don't want you on the show anymore, man.
Okay. Well,
no, don't hit the button because then I got to readjust everything. Don't hit the button. Don't hit the button. Don't leave. I don't want to have to readjust anything. Welcome to Nobody's Listening with Jared and Jake today. And I have Eric from Fire Entertainment.
Someone's very upset about that.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
If you leave in the first part, we already did the intro too. You know what? Let's start it over. Let's go back to the sound effects. Start it over. Take 3.
Third time's the charm. Now I can pretend I know what Pokemon is. Oh, the Pokemon Go theme. Gotcha. Oh, now I know. Okay, yeah.
Oh, fucking God. Okay. We can do this. We are professionals.
I don't know that we can.
We are professionals.
Every Saturday, my intern Jared corrals Let's Play Deathray into shenanigans in the podcast Nobody's
Fuck it,
Listening.
we're doing it live.
Now be a good
Fuck
intern,
it.
Jared, and hit the record button.
I can't work with you. I can't. Okay. No, we're starting this. This is where we start. This is how we start. You ready? Fucking.
I've mandated that once a week, Jared makes time to field complaints from our staff. So sit down, shut up, and listen. Jake, What's your first complaint of the week thus far?
No, Jake doesn't go first. I'm fucking going first. I'm your producer. I work with you so well on File Entertainment. So fucking well. I can do all the things. I feed off of you. I follow your cues the vast majority of times when we don't delay recording by a week. I understand where you're going from when you want me to play things. I can track what Eric is doing. I can work with you. You come on my show and it's just fucking hell let loose. It's just, hey, let's throw grenades everywhere. Fuck it. Let's call a stratagem in right on fucking top of us. Danger close, 500-pounder. Just fuck everybody. Work with me, man. Yeah. Just pretend it's Fallon Entertainment. Just a less popular, less better show.
I thought you liked the military kind of stuff, so I just came in pulling pins and chucking. Is that not the energy I was supposed to bring? Okay.
That is the
Maybe
energy.
We should start a fourth time.
No, I am not. I am not.
Throw it again.
No.
Birds in the air. Birds in the air.
Let's try it. I love the start of this show so much.
Of all the Eric curses I've experienced, this has been the best.
The cursiness.
I can't wait to hit you guys up on Monday. Hey guys, you're not going to believe this. The audio's corrupted. You guys aren't going to believe this. You weren't recording. I wasn't picking up Discord. The curse lives on.
Somehow I wouldn't be surprised, even a little bit.
Eric, you want to introduce yourself, buddy?
I don't know if I do anymore. I'm Eric, host of File and Entertainment, of which Jared is the co-host and the super producer, as you mentioned. And, always just right there with the correct sound bites to play. And here I am sabotaging Nobody's Listening. I'm so sorry. I'm also the co-host of the superior college football edition of the Evil Mark Show, which drops every Thursday.
Thank you, sir.
That's me.
That is the superior. Don't you hold like the top 2 best episodes or something like that?
I think the Ask Mark Anything, which I was technically the host of those episodes, those are the top 2, I think.
Nice. Jake, you wanna introduce yourself, even though like everybody knows you because you were the only one that is officially here every single time?
I'm Jake. I work here.
So Jake, since we are in the complaint department hour, to start things off, what do you want to complain about this week, buddy?
Final Fantasy 14.
What about
It's the game I'm being forced to play. I don't like it. I don't like MMOs. Not enjoying myself at all. I'm about 10 hours in. Had zero fun. I have like 80 hours to go before I'm allowed to play any other video game. And that's not what I'm complaining about. What I'm complaining about is on top of that, this week, I went to log in to try to play it, and I get a little message, like, your character can't be found in your data center. Like, there's gonna be some, troubleshooting. I'm like, whatever. I look it up. I go through, like, the first thing they suggest, which is going through, like, manually going through every single server in the game and seeing if your character has been, like, moved there by, like, an error in the game. My character's not in any of them. So at that point, I'm like, oh, I might have to restart my fucking character and start back from scratch for this game that I don't like that's already super long. So I spent the next, like, 2 hours just, like, going through, like, various, like, forums and stuff, looking for people with similar issues and, like, doing whatever they did to try to resolve it. Then eventually, like, having to, like, go through, like, the Square Enix, like, like, IT thing to get them to do stuff on their end. Then after they did that, I had to still uninstall and reinstall the game. So I spent like multiple hours this week trying to get a game that I don't like to work. And then I played it for like 10 minutes and went, I don't want to be doing this, and stopped.
Wouldn't that like give you the out? Like you earnestly tried to play it, like you were abiding by like the mandate that would be the game that you played. Like you tried, and then you can't help the technical difficulties or that there was a glitch that would prevent you from playing. I would say that would be enough to give you the out, that you didn't have to do it anymore.
Well, I got the character back, Eric, so that's It's no longer on the table. I wish I'd have thought that way.
Well, but so how? Because I thought that you loved the Final Fantasy series. Like, what is so different about this one? Is it just because they made it an MMO that you don't like, or
Yeah, and I mean,
what?
MMOs just aren't fun. There's no like strategy. It's so mindless and tedious. It's all like shitty fetch quests, and it feels so much more generic than any other Final Fantasy world. Like I've heard that like all the it's one of those games where like everyone's like the first expansion is like terrible. You have to like get through that, and then the game gets good. But it's like the way I'm playing it, which is doing like side stuff as I like come across it to like see if I like any of that shit. It's like a 90-hour experience to get
Good
through that.
God.
If you just do the story stuff, it's like a 60 to 70 hour to get through the part that everyone, like even people who love the game are like, yeah, that part sucks. And then it gets like good after that 70 hours.
Good God. Well, I mean, at
Jesus.
least I guess they give you content. I mean, that's one thing that the Final Fantasy games have always done. They've always been long experiences. So if you do enjoy them, I guess you get to spend a lot of time in the game. But I guess it must be really terrible if you don't like any of it and you feel like you're forced to play it. It's like, oh, this is my life for the next 90 plus hours. Yeah, it seems
Yeah,
terrible.
most people it's like not as big of a deal because they like MMOs and doing the social gaming thing. I don't, so it's just me. Like running through like these so super boring like intro stuff for like hours at a time and just not enjoying anything except the music. The music is great in that game.
So you're actually forced to interact with other people. There's no like offline single player kind of component to this.
No, it's a full on MMO like World of Warcraft style
Yeah, it's
game.
literally like WoW, just online with Final Fantasy characters running through doing things. I played it for a little bit, as well as like Zenith with Sarah, and it's not fun, dude. It's not.
You just have to get through that first 70-hour hump, Jared.
Yeah, no,
No big deal.
Through sailing afterwards.
yeah, it's no hard pass, dude. I'm sorry. Like, did you at least recover the 10 hour? Was it 10 hours to recover and do everything, or did you recover the character at the 10-hour mark?
Yeah, I recovered the character. I think I had like 8 hours of game time into this character because when I started this year, I had previously tried Final Fantasy 14 and also had to reset from that because when I did that, it was when the game was so popular you couldn't do free trials anymore. So I like paid for a month to like try it out and then didn't like it and moved on. And then when I tried to like go into the free trial now, it was like, wow, you've already used the paid version. You can't use the free trial. So I'd be like, okay, cool. I guess I'm restarting from the like 4 or 5 hours I'd played before.
Who
So-
did this to you? Who forced you to play this game?
My friend Adam, who's part of our D&D group, is the one who suggested it and put it all on the list. Then a comedy of errors got it chosen. David voted for it thinking it said Final Fantasy 16 instead of 14. And my friend Snow misread one of the other options, didn't realize what one of the other options was for one of the other games and voted for Final Fantasy 14. And then texted me and was like, oh shit, I meant to vote for this other one, my bad. And without those two votes, I would have been playing two different games that I actually want to play instead of Final Fantasy 14. It would have been
It
a tie
sounds like
between those two.
a whole lot of reasons that you could have given yourself a little bit of
Nah.
grace there, Jake, and gotten out of it.
Absolutely not. That's not the point of this
Glutton
whole
for
bureaucratic
punishment.
nightmare I've created for myself, Eric.
I am curious. Was it on PlayStation though?
No, I'm playing it on PC.
Ah, well, there goes half of the introduction there. Okay, because I was hoping the PlayStation curse continued with how bad things were.
Oh, I have tech issues, especially with games, constantly.
How? How is that? Why?
I don't know. I'm cursed. Like I've never been able to get into the Elder Scrolls games. Every time I've tried to play one, whether it be Skyrim or Morrowind, I think those are the only two I've tried. But I've had like game-breaking glitches like within an hour of every time I've tried to play those games. I tried to play Skyrim like 3 different times and encountered 3 different game-breaking bugs.
I guess the blessing of that is not being 50 hours in and then having it happen. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That
wouldn't
is
be
better,
more
which I have
painful?
had happen with a lot of games. I've been like towards the end of a game and then I encounter a game-breaking bug. Like, that's just common for me. One of the funniest ones I ever experienced was in Apex Legends. I had a weird bug where for like an entire match, if I was touching the ground, it started counting me as though I was out of the area. Because like if you land outside of the map, it like gives you a countdown, and then it just like kills you. So I just had to jump before that like timer would go, and it would reset it. Because if I jumped, it counted me inside the map.
Wow.
That was a fun one. But I come across shit like that just constantly, mostly with games, but also like I've had a ton of Discord issues that are like super annoying to resolve. I mean, Jared, you experienced me Zoom just randomly not working for me one
Yeah,
day for
just
no
stopped.
apparent reason.
Just, dude, I want you to legitimately apply to be a game tester. You need to be a game tester. Like, I think that is your calling. You don't need to do journalism. Just go apply to be a game tester. And like, it's just put Jake in front of your fucking game, put him on whatever console or PC you want. You will find game breaking errors within an hour, and you'll be better, right?
Apparently.
Yeah, but it's only ones that he experiences, not that anybody else would find.
A surprising amount of the time I have tech issues, go looking for like, surely someone else has had this problem, just find nothing. Usually I've been like, I recognize like tech help forums at this point because I'm like, oh, this one's usually pretty good for, you know, if I scroll through, I can usually find someone who's had the same issue.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like, okay, so I have a question. Like, so if you you try to log in tomorrow and it doesn't work, not working, and then David goes to log in on the same machine, same everything, he'll get in just fine. But when you do it, it fucks you up.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never owned Skyrim. I've only ever played other people's copies on their consoles that like work fine for them.
But what I'm
And
hearing is I've been blamed for a lot of curses that are probably really Jake's self-implemented.
nah. The Eric curse is a real thing. That's different.
Well, Eric, do you have anything you would like to complain about?
Uh, yeah, it's not a major complaint, I guess. Well, we we have two giant breed dogs, two
Mm-hmm.
Irish Wolfhounds that we've talked about, and for the longest time, like we just had like sedans. Like I've got an Altima and Megan's got a Sentra, and that's like so the biggest car was an Altima, and so to like wedge these two dogs in the back of an Altima always seemed like really fucked up. Well, they just turned 5, and so like so they're getting older, and we're concerned about them being cramped in the back, and so we traded her car in for an SUV finally, so that they could have more room. Well, they're like petrified to jump in up through the back. Like we tried to get a ramp first, and it was like too narrow, so like they didn't want to go up the ramp. So and they didn't want to jump in through the back, so they wanted to still go in through like the side door. Like even though we had the seats like lowered, it's still like higher than what the sedan was, obviously, and so they're having issues kind of jumping up in there. So we're trying to have to help them. So we got these stairs because we figured, okay, well they're used to kind of going up and down stairs. Maybe stairs would be better. They just refused to do that too. So it's like now it's like we still have to like help them. They get started, but then we have to help these 180-pound dogs try to get up through the side of an SUV because they're still petrified to go through the back. So, um, yeah, it's like. But then we went earlier this morning. We went on a trail that had like these natural kind of steps where like just like dirt, and then there's a bit of a ledge, and then like a log or whatever. But these are more steep than the stairs were. They went up that no problem. And I'm like, so this they'll go up, but fucking stairs. Like they just they just refuse to go up these stairs to get in the back of a vehicle. So that's not a major complaint, but it's just kind of a little bit of an annoyance. It's just like, I know you can do it, just do it. We're trying to make you comfortable.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Just norms, just normal things that we do in life. Just no, nah, that's different. Fuck it. I'm talking to you, asshole. Fucking took him for Starbucks. I went to go get coffee this morning at Caribou, right? He's been in the car thousands of times. He's hung out thousands of times. As soon as we get to that speaker, hey, welcome to Caribou Coffee. Can I get you checked in with your perks number? I give him my number out, and he's like, fucking, what was that noise? Who's talking? We get up to the window, and he's like, people? What are people? No, danger, danger. And he sits right on my shoulder, so he squawks right in my fucking ear. And it's just, I've already got tinnitus bad enough. And so my drive home, I can hear out of my left ear, just can't hear out of my right ear because it's a ringing. Fucking, I love animals. I love my boys, but be normal for a fucking change, right? Just be normal, please.
Nope.
Yeah. Jake, how far have you gotten on your episodes?
I'm on like 160 something, I want to say.
160. All right, trucking along. Anything of note that Jake has found?
Oh shit, 180. Never mind.
Oh damn!
Holy shit!
All right,
Wow.
bud.
How many of these are you listening to a day? You're talking about the re-listen of all the Feathers and Friends, right?
Yeah.
You're up to 180 already?
Yeah.
Holy
I
shit.
listen to a lot of podcasts. That's usually like all day while I'm working, I have podcasts on. So
How do you feel about the Eric era where we hit like 3-hour podcasts?
you know,
see, it's not just me. It's not just me.
no, I enjoy them, but it is also like those are always the episodes where it's like I only got through 2 today. Fucking Eric.
All the slander just being blamed for curses and arbitrarily increasing links to podcasts. I don't know.
I got you. I got you. Well, thank you, boys, for the.
I've mandated that once a week, Jared makes time to field complaints from our staff. So sit down, shut up, and listen.
I am kind of curious because on one of the other podcasts that I was listening to, they brought up the tipping industry, and I know that this is a very very hot button topic. So I've been talking to some of my friends when I was live streaming last night about tipping, and I want to get your guys' opinion on like the tipping culture. If you've ever because I know Eric, you've traveled abroad. I don't know about Jake, but is there much of a service difference between well, Eric, because you've been abroad, do you see a difference in the quality of service for people who earn tips versus abroad where they don't tip?
No, I mean, Europe in general, they're kind of just like, well, I mean, it depends on where you go, but I mean, I think Americans mostly are just kind of like abrasive and very demanding anyway. So I think that a lot of European servers, if they know that you're obviously American, are gonna, kind of treat you a little bit differently, maybe more standoffishly. So Americans might think that that is bad customer service or just bad like wait staffing, but I think it's just because they need to look in the mirror themselves because they brought it on themselves as Americans. But
Okay,
that's my opinion.
all right. I'm curious. What do you guys think is an appropriate tip? Like, what is an appropriate tip for going to like an IHOP or going to a restaurant or something like that, where you have a waitress, waiter, something like that? What is an appropriate tip in your mind, or is tipping correct?
I mean, I
mean, it sucks that we have to tip, but like with the way it's designed, if you don't tip, you're a piece of shit.
yeah, I think it's
I usually do like 20,
contingent
25%.
for us. It depends on how good the service actually was, or how nice they were, or if we gave them, because Megan almost always, she never orders anything like off the menu. It's always just like, oh yeah, this looks great, but can I change this and this? It's just like, so it's a matter of like all the specials that she has them do, and if it comes out correct, it's like, okay, she obviously relayed the information correctly, so it's like, yeah. But I think we always try to do it contingent on on how the service was, and if it is, like, we'll do as much as like 30-35% sometimes. It depends on how much the bill is. Like, yeah, like Jake says, if you don't tip anything at all, like, yeah, you're the ass. Like, they're still doing a service. Like, you're still going out and having someone else, basically wait on you, right? So, um, the people that tip absolutely nothing, I don't think that is right. Like, they deserve to be given something, unless it was just like they spit on the food directly in front of you, threw it all over your lap, and then just like, never, like, only showed up once and then never again. Like, okay, well, and then maybe special consideration can be made, but yeah, they always deserve at least something, I think.
Jake, you were saying 25%?
Yeah, like 20-25% is like standard tip for me. I will say, specifically with coffee, I'm the fucking worst if I'm paying with cash, because I'll just like round up with like whatever I happen to have. Like with a coffee like that, it's never an issue. It's like it's never a low tip. I had to have a friend point out in college that, like, without thinking about it, I was tipping like 50-60% because I was like, oh, I've got some 20, and just like, keep the whole thing. They're like, it's like a $5 coffee. What are you doing? Like, oh yeah, I guess that is like
Jesus,
3 times
man.
the coffee. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good God. I don't tip at coffee places. Like with Caribou, the one thing I will say, I don't get, like, that's the job, right? You are there to make me a coffee. That's what your job is. I order it, you make it, you give it to me. There's no tipping involved in that. But like at restaurants, $10 minimum. But then again, usually when I'm eating out, it's just Jared. So my food is like 10 to 15 bucks. So I guess you'd say it's like a 50% tip because it's just me. I don't know if that's the same way with you, Jake, where usually when you go out to eat, it's just you. But that's how I feel. Is if I go out, mandatory $10 tip. If they really really suck, it's like a $5 tip. But that's like you almost have to be really really bad at your job. Um, so
Yeah, that is a weird one. Because, yeah, I have, like, gone to eat by myself, and it was, like, $6. And I always do, like, well, I'll still leave $5 because I know. And I do think, like, the coffee thing is different. Because I think they make, like, minimum wage, right?
they should, yeah.
At coffee places, I believe so, yeah. Whereas, like, wait, like, I know they make, like, $1 an hour if they don't get tips.
Yeah, the keyword should. Actually, I can look it up. What?
Jared's speaking to a larger societal question. Look,
What?
they should make
They
minimum
should. Yeah, they
wage.
should. Um, website. Oh, Nitro on tap. Wi-Fi. Dude, the little place that they have. It's just like this tiny little fucking. So apparently at Caribou Coffee, they have. It's called a cabin, and then they have lodges, right? It's not just their place. They have a cabin, which is, like it's meant to be like a drive-through, or they have like a little outside seating area, and then like what Starbucks is, they call those lodges, which is really fucking weird. Because one day it was like December 22nd, and I'd been going to Caribou for like 6 months, and I pull up, and the lady's like, "Hey, welcome to the cabin here at Caribou. What can I get you?" I was like, "Can I wait the the cabin?" And she's like, "Yeah, these places are called cabins." I was like, "I've been coming here for like 6 months, and you haven't said anything about it being a cabin." And she's like, "Yeah, we got cabins, we got lodges." And I'm like, "I'm fucking what?" It's the lore behind Caribou Coffee is actually pretty fucking funny.
So stupid and pretentious. It's just like, it's coffee at the end of the day. Like, I could make this at home, maybe not as good, and you guys are making it for me and putting
Yeah.
in, whatever. Like, but it's still fucking coffee. Like, call it a large, not a venti or whatever. And it's like, it's a building, not a fucking cabin. Like,
Uh,
get over it. So stupid.
what?
I agree.
No. The lore behind shit is fucking hilarious.
That's not lore. That's like corporate jargon that they're like forcing on you, and you're like, yeah.
It's
I
like
want to know
McDonald's
the
if it's
difference
just
between
like,
a lodge and a cabin.
welcome to the McDonald's mansion.
I would fucking love that, dude.
So stupid.
Welcome to McDonald's at the home of the McMansion. We got a ball pit over there that's great. And wait. So the McMansions have the ball pit, right? The play area? Yeah. And then we call it the arcade if we got the N64 in there that barely starts and turns on. Dude, dope.
Then what do you got? The Burger King bodega, the Arby's
Yes.
Arboretum. Like, where does it end?
No. They gotta have the Hall of Meat.
Sounds erotic.
Bro, nope, not making that comment. Moving on. Actually, they make about $15 to $20 an hour at Caribou Coffee.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's totally fair not to dip if you don't want to. Then.
In some cases, that is minimum wage.
Well, like in fucking places like Washington D.C. and shit, where you need it to live. That's fucking insane. But yeah, they talked about tipping for like an hour of the PKA podcast. I was like, maybe we'll have more to say, but no, we're just basically online. So cool. Yay for being the same. I would tip if one of those girls did spit in my coffee, though. That'd be impressive. There we go. I'm gonna come out with it.
I will say, Jared, if you're trying to hit on the ladies there, you need to start tipping, buddy.
I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Like I don't know. I can't do it anymore.
And maybe don't be on record saying you deserve to be at minimum wage.
No, I'm saying they deserve to be at least. The comment was they deserve to at least get minimum wage, at least. And I think what is minimum wage in Wisconsin now that I'm thinking about it? Minimum. Nope.
A brick of cheese and a beer, I think.
Oh, I know what that is. I was
cheese or beer.
You're never gonna guess what it is here in Wisconsin. $7.25. Wisconsin's minimum wage, and why it hasn't changed, $7.25 an hour. And people under 20 can be paid $5.90 for a quote opportunity wage during the first 90 days. Minimum wage for people who make tips is $2.33 an hour.
God.
Yeah, that sucks.
Insane.
That's such nonsense. I hate it so much.
Oh
and if they
God.
work at like a diner or something where the bills are typically lower, like, and they're probably getting, another $2 in tips. So they're still making under the $5.90, the under 20 like opportunity wage, ostensibly. That's insane to me.
Washington,
especially for how hard they have to work to earn that paltry sum.
Washington, Connecticut, Massachusetts, California, New York, New Jersey, and Maryland all have $15 minimum wages, along with the District of Columbia. And then I think there's a bunch of other ones that increased that like are on the upswing. Yeah, like very few places are at 15. Most places though are like 10 to 14, and then just a couple of assholes are under the 725.
Jeez.
And I'm part of that asshole state. That doesn't surprise me that Texas is fucking $7.25 for minimum wage. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, that feels right.
Wyoming is $5.15.
Wow.
According to Yahoo Finance, as of January 1st of 2024.
I think it's a similar boat where that's only for
like tipped
specific
workers.
people. I think we're at the same minimum wage for most people. I think it's $7.25.
Look at how progressive Eric's state is. $14. How progressive you, sir.
I had so much to do with it too.
You're so generous, Eric.
Yeah, congratulations, buddy. They know you don't tip, so they figured that asshole guy. You gotta compensate for him.
Wow.
It's all good.
You're the worst.
It's all good. I thought we were gonna talk more about tipping, I genuinely thought we were gonna, so I didn't really bring a whole lot to the table. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I have any of you guys played Battlefield 4? I think it is, or Battlefield 3.
Yep.
No.
I've never played any of the Battlefields.
So you guys know the game Helldivers too, right?
I
By
know of it.
reputation.
Okay, well there goes two articles.
I know Kyle is like obsessed with it right now.
It is. Well, there goes all three of my topics that I would have loved to have chatted about, because there's some interesting things that I wanted to talk about. But no, it's okay. Drake can go fuck himself.
How about well, because Jake was talking about how long Final Fantasy 14
Mm-hmm.
is. Conversely, I've been playing Resident Evil 3, and that's a game like designed to be played multiple kind of times. Well, I just got an S rank last night for beating the game in under 2 hours. So that's a game that you can beat the entirety of in under 2 hours. So I think that's like what a huge kind of disparity between Final Fantasy and Resident Evil 3.
Well, how long did it take you to beat? That's the one where you're playing as Leon, right? And it was like the first kind of over
Mm.
the shoulder shooter.
No, that's
That's
4.
four.
This
That's
is
four.
3.
Okay.
Jill with Nemesis that kind of always stalks you. Not as much, I guess, as Mr. X. Well, Leon and Claire are in Resident Evil 2, and they had a remake. And there's Mr. X, who's like a character that kind of stalks you throughout the game. Nemesis, I think they complain that he's more of like it's a scripted kind of appearance by Nemesis, but so yeah, and I guess critics weren't too kind with Resident Evil 3, but Jill's my favorite Resident Evil character, so I definitely wanted to play this. So
I feel like any
it's fun. I like it.
I feel like any game that you can speed run, and when you do those speed runs, like especially to get like S rank or whatever, there's a certain complexity to the game, and even though yeah, you're beating it in under 2 hours, how many times did you have to beat it to get to that point?
3. Yeah, to just like know where everything was, what I can skip, what I didn't have to actually backtrack for, because that's a big portion of the game too. It's like you have to wait until a certain time until you get a lockpick, and then like you've passed all these locks and doors and whatever that you can then go back to and lockpick. Same thing with these bolt cutters. Like there's a pretty powerful shotgun that's behind these bolt cutters that you have to wait until you get a certain stage in the story, and then you have to like backtrack. So like the first several iterations of the game, you're like learning, okay, I have to do this, and then once you know the path, so that like the first time I played it was like probably 7 hours, because I was looking for like I was reading all the documents, I was looking for all the collectible stuff, and uh, trying to find out what I needed to do, and had no familiarity with the game. But then once you've played it a couple times, and you know what you can skip, what you can bypass, all that kind of stuff. So
What's your favorite part about the Resident Evil series?
uh, mm, I like zombie games. I like gothic kind of like storytelling. I think Jill is a cool character. I remember like playing the very first one, even with the clunky kind of tank controls, like the first one in the mansion, and then when they had the first remake on GameCube, that was like the most stunning and beautiful looking game. Like I couldn't imagine that they got that kind of like graphic power out of that tiny little GameCube. It was just amazing. I love that series, and so when they did I remember the first Nemesis game and stores and just like it was just like it was so cool and fun and uh, so when the remake came about, like I didn't jump on board right away. Like it came out in 2020 for PS4, and then I recently, well not recently, whatever, but I whenever I got a PS5, I just recently got the game because it was like on one of the super sales or something. I was like, no, I haven't tried it. I've been looking to get this, and what an excuse, get it for $10 as opposed to 40 or whatever the hell it was.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think definitely worth the pickup. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Do you have a plan to? Because my buddy Bob speed runs the shit out of games. I think he was talking about how he beat three in like an hour and 30 minutes or something crazy like that. Like an hour and 45 or something ridiculous. Like, do you plan to try to get that good with it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I want to try to get the platinum. Like games like that I really enjoy. That's how I feel like I'm kind of showing my appreciation to like the developers or the publishers or whatever, like about platinum it. Plus, it's just a cool kind of test to see if it can be done. Like once you beat it, a certain the thing with this is like you get a certain amount of points for doing all these tasks. Like you get points for beating it and then beating it with an S rank or beating it in a certain amount of time, and then just like the number of kills and all that stuff accumulates. And then you have like a bonus store where you can buy better guns, and then you can get so the I had accumulated enough points from beating it three times previously that I was able to get like the infinite rocket launcher. So it's like you've got this rocket launcher that basically one shots everything in the game, and that's how I was able to just kind of like race through it from start to finish. Just skip all the cutscenes that I've already seen numerous times before, and one shot everything, and just kind of race through it. So yeah, now I have to beat it on like the hardest difficulty, like Inferno or something, and I have to like S rank that and get it in under like 2 hours, and then I'll have like the platinum essentially. So
Are you gonna
yeah, I'll go
use?
for that.
Are you gonna use the infinite boomstick?
Oh fuck yeah! Like I'm gonna have to. Yeah, for sure.
I remember in Resident Evil 4, the mysterious vendor, he'd just come out of nowhere and you're like, oh, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. And then I beat it the second time to get the Chicago typewriter, right? Which was the fully automatic Tommy gun uh, that just had infinite ammo. That shit was just ridiculous. Dude, that game was one of the few games that I actually thoroughly loved and sat down and enjoyed. And it was the first GameCube game that I actually bought, played, and I think it's like the only Resident Evil I've actually really enjoyed. The rest of them, not so much. Five was kind of a joke to me. Uh, I think it was six was the one that could be multiplayer. It was kind of fun, but I never had somebody to play it with. And yeah, just four was the only one that I would go back and play.
I played
5 and 6
five
were
with my
fun.
brother. Yeah, it's like it's not a good story. It's not a great game. It's like one of the big memes from that is like Chris destroying a boulder by hitting it with his fist. Like it's very ridiculous, but it was fun to be able to play with my brother, and so that was cool. So we platinumed that. Like he liked playing as Shiva, and kind of forced me to play as Chris, and so that was fun. Just being able to talk shit and go back and forth with that game. But yeah, I love the Resident Evil series. I liked watching Jake when he was streaming playing Resident Evil. That was Village, right?
I played through Biohazard and Village on stream. I was a very brave boy in both. I definitely didn't get scared at all.
Not a big fan of horror, Jake, I take it.
Oh no, I love horror, but I love it because I get scared.
Oh, Megan
Especially
can attest.
Biohazard. Village wasn't too bad.
There's been plenty of times like when she's just in like trying to go to sleep or whatever, and like she'll lay her head on my lap as I'm playing, and I'll just like there's like a jump scare or whatever, or like a zombie that I thought that I killed would like come out from around the corner and like lunge at me, and I'm like freaking out. And she's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, it's scary. Sorry.
I could never. There's a. Did you guys know about that horror game where you're like an investigative journalist, and instead of like having a gun with like the zombies and all the bad guys, all you have is a camera with like night vision, and you have to get through the entire story without having to like shoot or do anything with against people, like that. Those are
Is that
game.
Outlast?
Yeah,
Maybe it's Outlast.
I think
I
so.
assume so. There's a million of those games though. It's like a whole genre. It's called helpless horror, which I also really like. Amnesia
Well,
is the series that I really like within that genre.
there's a Fatal Frame also that has like the camera. I think that's more like Japanese, like ghost kind of oriented, where you can like you snap the picture with the flash or whatever, and that captures the ghost on film to keep him from like killing you. But that's basically your only weapon.
You guys played Phasmophobia.
Oh yeah,
Mm-mm, I have not.
I played it with Canada once. and she so apparently she was inside. She wanted to do all the hunting. I was like, all right, I'll just guide you. I'll sit in the trailer, do whatever. She screamed so loud her mic cut out. She started to cry, and she alt F4'd, and she goes, "No, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm done." I'm like, "It's just a game. Are you okay, Canada? Is everything all right?" And like when you hear in a woman's voice that they're like done, and it's just no. I was like, "Oh, I don't get to play any more video games with the rest of the day." But she's done. She's like totally done, and like it sucked because we were right at that time where we couldn't get a refund potentially. And like I told her to write out that it scared her so bad she cried and had to alt F4. And she got a refund. She told me she got a refund.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I was like, I just
So
tell
what
the
is it
developers exactly what happened.
What's so scary about it?
Well, the ghost, I guess, was making sounds or something, right? Because like I could barely hear, so I cranked my headset up. But the ghost would just like you'd hear something faintly in the background. I'm like, what was that? Because like in Tarkov, like I hear a footstep. I'm like, huh? Right? And like I'll flick to it. And so I did the Tarkov thing, and then it's like really loud, right in your face, and something. The jump scare is fucking real. And
Mm.
yeah, that's why when she was like, oh yeah, you could sit in the trailers and help me, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that 100%.
My favorite thing to do in Phasmophobia, especially to David, because the ghost will like hum in your ear. It's like one of the things a ghost will do. So I'll just go like in the room like next to David, and I'll just start quietly humming. And I'm like, oh, I hear it, must be in this room. I did that for like months before he figured out what was going on
That's
when we started
incredible.
playing that game. That's the most fun I ever had with Phasmophobia. I don't actually enjoy playing that game, but I enjoy dicking around in that game.
That's hilarious.
That fuck that game though. That scared the shit out of me. I don't like that. I don't like the helpless horror genre. It you feel so helpless, man. You feel helpless, and it's just not a good feeling.
Did you ever play Eternal Darkness? Or that was another. That was game. Yeah, that was GameCube. That was one where it's like the. I watched my brother play it, and like it would mess with the volume on the TV. Like it would increase the volume, and then it would also tell you that like your memory card had been like fucked up, and it's like it was bringing like the psychological terror into the real world. It was pretty neat because it also had like a sanity meter because I think that was another one of those like helpless horror kind of things. Like I don't think that you could defeat the enemies. Like you just had to basically flee or hide, and uh, but like the more fucked up things that you saw, your sanity meter would start kind of, well, I guess depleting, and then once it was gone, like it was game over. But that was pretty neat, and how they brought in kind of real world stuff to affect you in the game. Pretty cool.
You guys heard of Detroit Become Human?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna see if I can share. Start at that mark. Let me see if I remember how to do this. Media, open network stream, play that. Let's see if it'll work. All right. Whoops.
I've already.
Fucking come on. Come on. Work with me here. Ah, it's a buffering. She's a trying. She's trying.
No, Jared, I think we need to start over. Play that intro again.
You can fucking. You can fuck right off. No, in Detroit Become Human, the gal will. So, like, your main screen is literally one of the AI droids or whatever, right? It's just one of the AI female droids. And so they have this little wheel on the side of their heads that'll tell you if they're like, if it's just blue, you're fine. If it's yellow, they're in danger. If it's red, they're just like, they're breaking, right? They actually have the emotion of upsetty spaghetti. And what ends up happening is it's just really fucking funny because her thing flashes red, right? And then she goes, oh, I think your save file is corrupted. And then she's looking around. I'm like, fucking wait, what now? No. Oops, just kidding. I'm like, you fucking bitch. I'm about to have a hissy fit with you right now. Like, don't do that to me. And it's an Easter egg in the game. it pissed me off. It was so, like, it was because I was streaming. I was wanting to stream the series, and was like, I'll play through it just to see what happens, to get a cool like cinematic with it. Because the game is basically a choose your own movie, right? Like that's how the game is styled. But she did that crap, and it was just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like the screen's just gonna say your save file's corrupted.
Because it's the same developer, like what was it, Quantum something or other that developed Heavy Rain, right? Which is the interactive kind of stuff.
You guys play Heavy Rain?
Nope. I know what it
I've
is,
seen
but
it.
I haven't played
Yeah.
any of those games.
I had to cut my own finger off. That was fun.
From what I understand, that's you got off pretty light. I think
Yeah,
that's
I cut my finger off, and I was able to find out who the actual kidnapper was, and I don't think it ended well though. Like, it was it was either a very ambiguous ending, or I'm like, wow, that sucks. The shower scene was weird though. Like that, like if you want to talk about like a weird, like unnecessary something in a game, the the fact that you could just take a shower as the main female lead was just weird. It was just like you walked in the bathroom, it's like take a shower question mark, and you're like, no, they're not gonna have. And yeah, like you legitimately take a shower, and I was just like, this is a horror game. Why would I? I mean, every '80s horror has to have tits, like we were talking about in File and Entertainment, but yeah, no, I just didn't feel right.
I'll have to take your word for it. I never played it.
same.
That does sound weird.
Very much so.
Well, speaking of File Entertainment, you guys,
This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, File Under Entertainment, where I have to lend out my intern Jared to Eric and Company, where every other Tuesday they review a few movies. Don't forget to slam that filing cabinet shut when you're done. And remember, till next
We're supposed to be
time,
hearing
I
something.
love you. You're worthy of it. Besos.
you are ruining every fucking thing.
Why the thing you whatever you did with the Beyond Detroit Beyond Human thing, Become
I
Human.
fucked it up.
It works for
Yeah,
me. I heard it.
it said that the stream ended or whatever, so now it's just sitting there as these blue blocks that are dancing around on my screen. So I got nothing.
He's
See, the Eric curse is real.
Yeah, the Eric curse is hardcore real, because I'm gonna have to go in and edit that where he's talking over the shit. Because I gotta edit this episode anyways, because Eric doesn't know how to fucking do his job right.
I don't think.
What
I
do you
don't
mean?
think
The
shit out of it
three
at all.
intros is great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
3
think
intros
so.
is great
That's hilarious.
for nobody. I try to,
For
like,
everyone.
I genuinely don't want the show to end. All right, the legit. The we go till nobody's listening. Yeah, no, I don't want this to be like, yeah, for an hour and a half, a podcast is just fucked up. You know?
So you don't want people to laugh, is what you're saying?
Well,
You
I
think
do
that,
want people to
People
laugh.
will find that funny. I think the more that we fuck up, the funnier it is.
See, but now I'm like forcing it to be at the beginning, where I was gonna have it as like a Secret Santa end sound, right? But now it can't be, because now people are gonna be like, what? Where was it? What happened to it?
Well, unless you edit out that part where you just said that. Then they're like, oh man, I wish they'd done the intro. The 3 intros. And then they're there at the end and they're like, oh, there they are.
I just
That's how
can't.
you do it.
I can't win. I can't win. Eric, are you on? Do you have the sound available to you? Right?
I do not. It's just no. It's just sitting there, blue blocks dancing around.
Okay, so I'm gonna just close out of that screen then. All right, dude, fucking this is. Thank God we don't do File Entertainment through Discord, dude. Swear to God. All right, I'm gonna share it again. Okay. Takes forever to load up.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch it to that.
Okay.
It's shared.
Watch stream. All right.
Is
There
it
we go.
There? Can
It's
you?
there.
You
All right.
good? You all
Yeah.
right? You can hear the sound, the music?
Doomsday Choir Noir. Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. Fucking Jiminy Christmas. You were the single worst guest I've ever had, and I've had Mark on.
Holy. Wow.
Fucking Mark.
That's-
Actually, his are some of the biggest episodes ever. That man, I didn't realize that we would find something that we couldn't talk about. I thought after what 2 years now knowing the man, we would find something we can't talk about, and it's corrections officers that we can't talk about, and
The
the
most
prison
striking
system.
thing to me is that you continued to go on. I tried to get you off of it. There's no way you're winning this argument, so just let it go. And you're just like badger, 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 and it just got progressively worse. Like,
I wanted to prove to him that he was doing that 1%er thing that he always does, and that he just won't come off of. You know what I'm talking about, right, Jake?
No fucking clue what you're talking
Okay.
about.
So Mark does this thing where so I will give him that he's got some good points, but the vast majority of time he'll find that one small little click of something that is just so outlandish and out there that that's what he says is the norm for things, right? Like, so with like your Barry Bonds, your Mark McGuire's and stuff like that, he would take those small 1%ers that could hit like 70, 80 home runs in an entire baseball season. I'd be like, that's what baseball is. It's like 80,000 home runs a year. Everybody's hitting home runs. You're like, no, that's the small little 1% of baseball. And he would use those small little 1% facts when arguing about the government or arguing about a certain statistic that is out there. He'd just find the smallest, most outlandish thing and then argue that's the case for everything as a broad generalization. And I love that he understands those facts, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, you can't just do that. You can't 1% it. Like, if you're going to percent it, you got to talk about the vast majority of things. And try as I might on some topics, I will never pull him away from his thoughts. But that is one reason why I like him. Is legitimately he is set in his ways. He knows what he likes. He knows what he doesn't like, and he understands exactly what he wants. And I love him for it. I fucking absolutely love him for it.
another specific example, like, well, actually, like one of the ones that was actually brought up on the show was he was talking about porn and like saying about like, oh, do I really want to look at this because this girl's going to end up committing suicide? Like, he was basically saying that every girl that like poses nude like has no autonomy, like had no kind of desire to do it, was basically forced into it, and then is going to feel so bad about it that they end up committing suicide later. Like,
Yeah,
that's so Jared. It's like you're doing the 1% thing again.
no. A
Gotcha.
a lot of women that do OnlyFans are out there to do it for themselves. They enjoy the shit out of it, and they have no regrets, right? None. There is one the beginning of the age of the bullying is started though. Some kids at high school found one of the kids at high school. So a group of kids, I guess, was looking at OnlyFans and found one of their buddies' moms and bullied the shit out of him. It has begun. I'm kind of surprised he didn't use that fun fact. That was a big story that came out where a group of high schoolers just found an OnlyFans page of one of they're like, oh my god, that's Tony's mom, and it didn't end so well. Surprised he didn't use that.
Fair. I mean, I do think there's been a shift, like, in that industry. Like, it used to be a lot more exploitative and kind of how Mark describes it. Like, that used to be a lot more common. It's like that. I see where he's coming from with it, even if it's not like the case for everyone. It is a thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about the mom whose truck is decked out and with her OnlyFans stuff and was dropping her kid off at school in the truck with all the decals?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I did hear about that, and they ended up getting expelled due to those
because
kids.
mom wouldn't not do like they're like just go park your truck over there, drop your kid off, because you're literally promoting porn on the premises of school, like, and the lady's like it's my job. And it's like, yeah, but I don't think
I
you
think
should be
also,
promoting that at school, lady.
Right.
wasn't it like it was a parochial school too? I think, right? Wasn't it like
A what?
a church-based parochial school? Like it was like a Catholic-based church school.
Yeah, it was like a private school. It was a private school that was like hardcore, like Catholic or Christian. What the fuck is parochial? That sounds like a pierogi. It's like,
It
why are
just
we
means
talking
like
about food?
religious, like a
Ah,
Christian.
but like, I was listening because it made it to the Philip DeFranco show, and I was listening to Letty talk, and I was like, because he flipped it, like he was talking about it. She's like, this lady's dumb. It's like, how dumb can she be, right? And then I saw the truck because he played the clip of the news thing, and I was like, yeah, no, that's some advertising, and that's some advertising. I give it to the lady, and then he showed her, and then Phil was like, "This is what you have to say." And in that moment, for like 30 seconds, in my like three nanoseconds in my brain, I was like, "What's going to come out of her mouth?" And it was just sheer stupidity. She's like, "It's my job. It's not a big deal. We're sex positive and blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Lady, it's a high school. Everyone is under the age of 18. The vast majority of people are under the age of 18. Like, fucking, come on now. Like, let's be rational for 2 seconds. Use your rational brain." It was like I was on her side up until "it's my business, it's not that big of a deal," and I was like, your truck is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's so trashy. Like, there's no other way to describe it.
How do you think I make the money to send my kid to school? Fucking, you don't need to advertise it, woman.
Yeah, specifically there. That's like the one place not to do that. Like, if it was like anywhere else, I'd be like on her side. But at a school, what the fuck is wrong with you, lady?
And I think they just said, like, if you're gonna pick up your kids, like, be across the street so that you're not on school grounds with like the advertisement. And she's like, no. So that like so then the kids end up getting expelled because like she just refused to even park across the street. Like it's.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I am curious though, because remember like a couple years ago where they would like find teachers who had OnlyFans, right, and then like expel them, right? I've always wondered like how does that conversation go down, right? It's just like, look, Eric, don't ask any questions, but I know that Sarah, who teaches PE, she's got an OnlyFans, right? As a rational man, I'd be like, how the fuck did you find that out? How do you know Sarah's got an OnlyFans? Well, you're not gonna believe this, but a buddy of mine did it. Like the more elaborate the story, it's just like, dude, just say you were on OnlyFans and found Sarah, right? Like just say you were on OnlyFans and you found Sarah. Like it's not that shameful, man.
Well, I was looking for PE teachers named Sarah, and what do you know?
I was just doing
There
a
she
casual
was.
reverse image search, as you do. And you won't believe what I found.
Like I wonder how that conversation goes for all those meetings. I just feel like it'd be the most odd or awkward, like kind of like, hey, guess what? Because the implications of certain things, it's just like you're never gonna guess how I found out Eric, beats up little kids for money in bouts or whatever, and you're just like, how the fuck do you know that? Well, dude, I was at this dive bar that I've never been to the dive bar. They were hosting a fight apparently that Wednesday night, like they do every night. And who strolls in? It's fucking Eric. Got some boxing gloves, and he's like, how many 10-year-olds can I beat up tonight? You're never going to believe it. And it's like, how the fuck do you do it? Like seriously, man? How do you find that shit?
I mean, you say that, but I do weirdly have like one of those like actual like weird coincidence stories. Just, the only time I've been to a strip club, like a girl I had gone to high school with was like one of the strippers there, and was like clearly not doing well, which made it like a depressing experience for me. But it is one of those things where it's like, I guess I know this girl I went to high school with like 4 years ago is stripping and seems to be addicted to drugs now. So that's a lot of unexpected information suddenly.
I was browsing.
But it's legitimately the only time I've been to a strip club, so it literally sounds like that exact fake story you're describing. It's legitimately what happened.
I mean, what do you do after that? Like, that's my one experience with a strip club. Like,
I don't go to more strip clubs is the answer. That's why it's the only time I've been to one. Like, yeah, I don't get strip clubs. They're really depressing.
Well, Jake, how do you know that? Well, you're never going to believe this.
Well, think of the story he's got to tell for the reunion. Oh my god.
Have you guys been to your class reunion? No. I
No
got
desire to.
I got invited. And I saw like 5 people were going, and I was like, nah, hard pass. Hard pass. It's only been 10 years, hard pass. Maybe at the 50th or 40th or 30th, but nah.
Oh, my like first one, my like 10-year one was like during 2020, so it's just like I don't think it even happened.
When did so I'm 36 now. I can't math right now. My brain hurts. It was at least 8 years ago. I think is how you do. No?
That sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 years ago. It was 8 years ago. So whatever that was my 10-year.
Are you gonna go to 20?
If I live in Houston, yeah. That's the only problem is it's down in
Yeah.
Houston. I don't fuck Houston.
That's fair. Yeah, that is the other like big. Even if I wanted to go, which I don't really, of like I don't drive and it's in another state, so
Yeah. See, now I'm sad. Now I'm depressed. Thank you, Jake.
good.
Why?
You're welcome.
The depressing story. The very hilarious depressing story.
The very hilarious, depressing story. It's a misnomer.
I thought,
It's dark comedy
yeah.
in real life.
I was browsing through Reddit and I thought I saw one of my very close friends on one of the forums, but she has a very distinct large tattoo on her left arm, and you ever do that? You see somebody on the internet and you're like, I know that person, and then there's just the weirdness and awkwardness sets in, and then you look for something that is not correct just to be like, that's not Sam, that's not her.
I think we're looking at very different things.
No, I'm with you, Jared. I know exactly what you're describing.
Yeah. I was looking, I was like, that's fucking Sam. And then I had to hit her profile, and I scrolled down and it showed a full body shot, and Sam's got this giant tree tattoo on her left arm, and I was like, oh, thank God it's not Sam. I mean, I'm gonna just bookmark this profile here for later. You've had that happen, Jake, too?
Yes, both in that context, and weirdly, when I was in college, one of my cousins like found someone on the internet who looks exactly like me. Not in that context, though. Arguably in worse context, because like a like right wing like anti-LGBTQ protester with like a sign, but he looked exactly like me. Like
Dude.
at the time, like same exact like
Right.
haircut, same exact glasses, and then just like my exact features.
Bro, you should have taken a photo. You should have taken a photo, smiling, going, "I support the alphabet soup," right? And then like label it whatever he was, and then put it out on the internet for everybody to see, and they wouldn't be able to refute it.
And his name was Drake Von Bundy.
God, the internet is a wonderful place, isn't it, boys?
It's something.
Yeah, it's something.
You know what the internet
Is that a
does?
segue?
Yeah, that is a segue, buddy.
Welcome to Random Reddit Answers, where the boys attempt to help you, the viewers and listeners, with their issues. We've solved how to open a soda can quietly. We've saved a marriage or two. What can we fix for you today? Intern, who are we helping first?
You're loving this, aren't you, Jake? The pops are great.
I mean, that is great, but you guys didn't fucking help that guy open his soda quietly at all. I listened to that episode. All you guys did was make fun of him.
Yeah, we helped him
You
open
know
it
it,
quietly.
I mean, you guys just called him a dumbass. Who asked these stupid questions?
Look,
Exactly.
we
I have to stand
assisted
by
him.
that.
We truly assist him. Don't be a fucking dumbass.
Fair.
Uh, so I got a couple of them. I got a couple good ones that I thought would be very, very interesting. Um, for Eric, because I know that he loves just the pure oddities out there. So the first one comes from Ask Women. If your adolescence years were a smell or a scent, what would they be? If your adolescent years was a smell or a scent, what would it be? Jake, you got something locked and loaded? Eric?
I don't know. BO and Shay. Isn't that what all adolescence is?
BO and shame. Uh, so there's a very like, I don't know if you guys ever been down to Texas, but there's a very distinct smell of like, it's not really like pond water, but it's not like stagnant pond water, but it's not like river scent, right? It's kind of a semi-stagnant river, like a very slow, lazy river kind of vibe on golf courses, right? And so that scent of the water on a golf course that moves, but just like it moves just enough not to be stagnant. You know what I mean? And it's kind of got a like a fresh kind of fresh cut grass, just kind of watery scent. I don't know how to describe it, but I spent a lot of fucking time on the Longwood golf course, and spent a lot of time golfing, playing airsoft out there, as well as fishing on that golf course. So, and that's kind of where I lived and breathed, was in the woods in between those holes, as well as that. Um, and then I think if I had to choose like a backup secondary scent, it would be cat, because my girlfriend at the time had a cat, and fucking I've cat smells so bad, man. Not Wrigley, not Wrigley. Eric, there's a difference between good pet owners and then bad pet owners. Eric, you are 100% a good pet owner, because the vast majority of the other people that I've met that have had a cat, like you walk into their house and you're like, cat.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, I know all about that. My brother, because we can the term like nose blind, like
Mm-hmm.
you can just like stop smelling things that you're around constantly, and like that's kind of how my brother's place is. Like you walk in and you're just like you get uppercutted with cat urine. Oh, it's very strong. So I know.
Okay. Jake, I gotta ask, dude, what the fuck would shame smell like? Right? Like, if we had to assign a scent to shame, like, I feel like shame would be like burnt black licorice, right? Like, yeah, exactly. Like, if you BO, okay, yeah, no, I know what BO is for me, right? Because so like like my apartment, I cleaned the shit out of it. I purged half of what I have, which is great. So there's so much more space. But like I know that scent of BO where you're like, oh, that's me, right? And you're like, I need a shower. But like, what do you guys think shame smells like?
I don't know. The black, I like the black licorice answer.
Yeah, especially burnt black licorice too. It just means it would be that much more pungent and yeah, yeah. Burnt black licorice. Yeah,
I think you nailed it, Jared.
it's fitting.
Good job.
Well, I mean, Eric, if you can remember that far back, old man, what was your adolescence like? What would you describe it as a
The
smell?
year was 1865, and
The smell of cholera in the air.
yeah, exactly. Consumption was everywhere.
The shit bucket in the corner.
Uh, I guess my grandma used to like bake a lot. Like every time I was over at her house, like she would like make me like blueberry muffins. And so I guess like fond memories would be like baked goods or baked blueberry muffins, I guess.
Good.
I mean, the real unfortunate answer for mine, because both my parents were smokers, would have just been cigarette smoke. Like, that was so prevalent, and it's one of those things where it was like so omnipresent and overwhelming that it was like weird once I, experienced life away from that smell, and then like went back and was like, Jesus, it smelled like this the whole time.
Yeah,
God.
right.
No wonder
Yeah.
people didn't like to hang out with me at school. I smelled like that. Jesus. Dude, my stepmom, the only complaint I have about my stepmom is that she would never roll the window down enough when she would smoke a cigarette. And she was like a fucking chimney. Because I would remember going into her bar. Uh, 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 I think it was Bird's Nest or something like that, if I remember correctly. But like I would walk in on like a numbers poll night or something like that, where they'd have like numbers or whatever, and the bar would get packed for the 30 minutes before and the 30 minutes after, and you'd walk in and you could see like a 6-inch layer of smoke at the top of the bar, and like I would just be like, I'm gonna go hang out in the half house that's in the back, like, and oh fucking good god, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, when I was in the military, I was smoking, and like on the boat, like they had like a smoking deck, like the only place on the ship where you could smoke. Like you would just walk out there, and just everybody was smoked, and it all kind of packed in. You wouldn't even have to smoke just because everybody else like it. So much secondhand smoke. It's just beyond disgusting. But yeah, that's another thing. Like we talked about going nose blind. Like you're not like your sense of smell just kind of gets dulled while you're a smoker, and so it only really comes back after you've quit for a considerable amount of time. But yeah, we used to smoke indoors, and like we had all of our animals, and I feel so bad for our pets that we would smoke inside, like because yeah, it's raunchy and rancid and nasty and
Did I ever show you the photos of
very gross.
Blue before I adopted him?
Mm-mm.
He lived around a guy that like chain smoked Marlboro Reds, right? And his feathers looked rough, like rough. And like I remember I picked him up, I got him, I'm like, you look rough, little buddy. Like I'm gonna give you a good life. And I think it took like 2 or 3 months for his coat to like his feathers to like come in properly to lose all that bullshit. And like now, like you look at this, so there's a photo I have of like the first day that I have him, and then you look at a photo of I have him like 3 months later. He looks just like a night and day different bird, an absolute different bird.
Yeah,
You guys
it's
remember those?
so terrible.
You guys do remember those old button-up shirts that like had like all that Japanese writing and like the flames and the skulls and shit on them? You guys remember those?
Yes,
Yep.
I was that kid that wore those, right? In high school. But here's the
of
thing.
course you were.
Here's the thing. If we're talking about nose blind, like the girls would love to wear them. For some reason, they would come up and steal my button ups all the time. They'd be like, Jared, like once a week, one day, 2 or 3 girls would just come up and jack my shit. It'd be different women, but they'd just be like, Jared, I want to steal your shirt for the day. Fucking no, it's my shirt. And they're like, no, I want to have it. And they would return it like 2 to 3 days later, smelling like their perfumes that they wore. And like, you want to talk about a little kid in heaven coming home with all of his button-up shirts at the end of the day, where it smells like vanilla, what's lavender, and then this one girl would wear strawberry kiwi. I wish I could remember her name, but it was a very strong kiwi strawberry scent, and it was like I was in heaven. I'd come home and like I'd wear the shirt, and I'm like, I smell like good things and not man things. I think that's why I shower with like lavender and kiwi and all the girly scents with my. I did that once. I brought a girl over and she's like, "Are you married or are you dating a girl?" And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "You've got like." Cause I when I shave I use the spray, I do the cream, right. It was Gillette for women, the Berry Bash or whatever, right? Because it's soft. It gives my head a really soft, smooth clean. And then she looked in my shower, and I had like, I think it was like mango or something like that, just like mango body wash. And she's like, "These are all frou frou smells." I was like, "I like to smell good. Like I like those scents. That berry shit. You know how good it is to shave your head and just be smelling berries, right? You get out of the shower and you smell like a fucking mango smoothie. Like that shit is amazing, man. Fuck the Everessence or the Commander smell. Fuck that. I want to smell like fruit.
That's awesome.
I love those days. Uh, what current trend do you guys find troubling, or and why? What trend out there for the kiddos do you find to be a little troubling? Any trends that you're seeing that you find troubling? I gotta open another window. It's getting hot here.
Existing.
That's not a condition.
Damn youth these days.
Right?
Existing.
Get off my law.
Off my fucking property.
Stop breathing my air.
You guys seen the NPC trends?
Yeah, that sucks.
I think it's died off, but the NPC trend, people would pretend to act like NPCs in video games, and their followers would pay them like, because you know how in a video game you can like 1 to romance, 2 to punch, 3 to like trade, 4 to whatever, and people would pay during a live stream. They'd be like, oh, dialogue 1, right? They'd pay for her to act out dialogue 1, and then other people would pay to continue the conversation, so they'd act like an NPC, and then they'd wait for somebody to pay them, and it got really fucking weird really, really fast watching one of those, and I about was like, this is a thing, and apparently it was fucking big for a while there. That trend just disturbs me quite a bit. It's
That's not even the one I thought you were talking about. I've never heard of that.
which one?
I was talking about that there was a thing on TikTok for a while where they would like film people, like mostly like people like working or just like out like in public, and like compare them to like video game NPCs because they were like, you know, looking like dead inside and stuff.
Jeez.
Which again, it was like a lot of like retail workers, just like, you know, just like standing there like vacant, and then like making fun of them, calling them NPCs was like a thing for a while.
Those people are trash.
That is troubling.
That's what I thought you were talking about when you said the NPC thing.
No. That was what I was talking about. People just acting like the cringe, dude. The cringe that I see on fucking TikTok. Like, just scroll through TikTok for like 5 minutes, right? Like, it gets weird as shit, man. It's fucking no, sir. Some of that shit I see on there is fucking ridiculous. What about you, Eric? What trend do you see? What current trend do you find troubling, and why?
I don't know. It's clear that I'm not up on the trends because I didn't know about either one of those.
Bro, this is like your favorite part of the episodes, and you don't have any answers, man. Are you okay?
What are you talking about? I don't have any answers. I've answered everything thus far.
Jake, do you want to enlighten him?
Yeah, no, Eric, you're doing terrible.
You didn't have an answer for the scent, right?
Yes, I did.
What?
Blueberry muffins, asshole.
That's not an answer. That's a David answer. Oh, I've got a wife. I've got a loving family around me. I'm gonna just answer with a cute, adorable thing here.
From my adolescence, I wasn't married as an adolescent, Jared.
Shut
I said
up.
my grandmother.
Yeah,
God,
stop having a cute family moment.
Yeah, no happy memories here.
Yeah.
Those aren't a laugh. Those aren't real answers.
But seriously, is there something that you've been seeing in society that you're just like, fuck that, that's dumb?
Almost everything.
That's like David answering, "Oh, I love my wife's song." That's like the Crow song that you answered last night, the fucking Friday night. Yeah, you can't have that.
I can't have nice things.
You can have nice things, but it's the default answer.
But I can't talk about it.
The default answer shouldn't be the cute thing about the woman that's sitting next to you listening in on this podcast.
Okay. It's not. I said a very troubling thing. You said
existing.
I said existing. Yes.
Oh my god. What's the best live event you've ever been to? What is the best live event you've ever been to in your lives?
I mean, I haven't been to very many, but seeing Bob Dylan play, it's pretty cool.
Nice. Where'd you see him?
Here in Casper, before I was actually living here. I like happened to be here for like the summer between semesters in college. At the same time he was here, so I went and saw him and John Cougar Mellencamp, which was less fun.
Yeah.
What was so bad about that?
I just hate John Cougar Mellencamp. I hate all of his songs. He just played like he played like the 5 like songs that you know, and then a bunch of songs that sounded exactly like those songs.
Ah.
There was like there was nothing interesting. Like I don't know. It was all like it's one of those things where like, which I know some people like, where it like sounds exactly like it does like on the radio, which for me isn't interesting. It definitely wasn't the case with Bob Dylan, which was like a very like weird, like different experience from like the recorded versions of his songs. So to just like preface that with like the most like aggressively generic like rock music was a weird like shift.
There was
I also
a
got really mad at a lady who like was complaining that Bob Dylan was the headliner and talking about how it should be John Mellencamp. Who's here to see the old man?
Wow.
Fuck
Jesus.
you.
Jesus.
That doesn't sound like a ticket that I would have normally pictured Mr. Zimmerman agreeing to. Like that, I don't see Bob Dylan with John Cougar Mellencamp like at all. Like I don't see how that works. But
It was a weird experience going from one to the other, especially because like the like local band that actually was on before John Mellencamp was also great. They were like a weird like jazz rock band that was just like completely unexpectedly crazy good and just
that's
like
cool.
insanely like technically talented. And then it was like just like an hour of like super boring, sounds exactly like the radio, and then like into Bob Dylan doing like the weird Bob Dylan like mid-song like lyric and like chord changes from the usual version.
There was a band that I saw down in Madison once that was really fucking good live, and then I plugged in their CD later, and I was like, that was a waste of $5.
That'll happen.
Yeah, some bands are like that. They're just really electric live performances, and then just so super flat.
I think
I guess the reverse is also true, where it's just like they're amazing when they have all the production value behind them, and a producer that knows what they're doing to put it on a CD or vinyl or whatever. But then their live shows are just gross. So
I
it's a roll
don't.
of the dice.
36 Crazy Fist is that way. They call it speed metal. They slow it down on tape, so like it's more kind of, I guess, radio friendly. But when they play it live, it doesn't sound good sped up. It just doesn't. I think it's weird. The best concert that I ever went to was ICP and Twisted.
Jesus.
It genuinely was a great concert.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was. Like I had a lot of fun with it. I got a shirt, I got a hat, I did the face paint. During the concert, because this is when I was listening to ICP, like not like, oh my god, this is a cult, this is a great thing. It was just like, I love the satirical nature of these songs. It is just hilarious. Like, and then when I found out that everything was a joke, I was like, oh, that just makes sense, right? Like, they're super religious dudes. They're super loving and caring about about everything. I was like, oh, I love the jokiness of everything. And there's a song that they played at the end called "If I Was a Serial Killer," and they talk about how they'd be a serial killer, which is hilarious. They extended the end, brought out a bunch of Faggo, and just covered everybody in Faggo. And it was a very surreal experience to hear the ending of a song go on for like 10 minutes. The entire cast and crew of ICP, Twisted, and the opening band just opening bottles of Faggo, sending them out into the crowd, getting covered in Faggo, and just everybody losing their shit. It was great. It was so great. I Metallica, don't get me wrong, loved them, loved everything about the concert. It was highly produced, very well produced. But I think it was the size of the venue, how many people were actually there, just the closeness of everybody enjoying the music that made it so good. It was fantastic. It's like a shared experience of being sticky at the end of the show. It was great. I had Honda Accord with leather seats too. Yeah, the next day was not fun.
Disgusting.
Yeah. What about you though, Eric?
Well, I'm hoping that we're going to a lot of concerts this year. Like we got, I think, 8 events coming up, which is like the most that we've kind of ever had in a single calendar year, and I'm sure there are more coming. So I'm really hoping a lot of these are like really throwback ones too. Like we're going to Sarah McLachlan, we're going to Bush. It's like so this Bush concert. It's also Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains and also Candlebox playing with them. So it's gonna be amazing. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm hoping that one of those concerts is really cool. But in terms of like the best event that I've been to was a Notre Dame game with my brother in the 2006 season, I want to say. It was great. It was like mid-November, so it was freezing. Like we were freezing our ass off the whole morning, like walking around campus and then getting in the stadium. But then when like everybody kind of like filed in, it was just like then we were just like sweating our ass off just because of like all the people's collective kind of body heat. And they won in a huge manner, and it was a really cool play where one of my favorite players, Tommy Zbikowski, he was the punt returner, um, and like they were kicking to him, and I was like, "Watch, Dylan, he's gonna run this one back for a touchdown," and he did, and it was just like,
Nice.
and so like everybody kind of around was just like, "Oh my God, he's like Nostradamus or whatever." So it was really cool. It was a really cool moment and a really cool day, and it was the first game that he had ever been to, so that was just a phenomenal experience.
Nice. I do love those cold weather games. I saw a Badger game when it was like snowing sideways in the middle of December. We were like halfway up, and it was just the weather conditions were fucking trash. But god damn, was it interesting to watch the game just in those conditions, man. Like I get why. Like you remember you've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick with his shirt off, just rooting on like I think it was the Eagles or the Bills or some shit like that, and you're just like, yeah, I can see why people have that much fun out there.
Yep.
Some good games.
Oh,
Uh,
show.
No, I don't want to ask how instant noodles are made. Um, what is one society ritual or stereotype which you hate the most? What is a society ritual or stereotype that you hate the most?
That's a weird two things to pair together.
Mm-hmm. It is very weird. That's why I specifically chose it because it gives you a little bit of extra breathing room. So if you don't want to talk about a stereotype that you see, you can talk about a ritual that people do. What is a ritual or stereotype that you hate the most in society?
Wow,
I think
this is a
I'm
tough one.
gonna take a page from Eric's book and say all of them. That's a valid answer, right?
No, it's not a valid
Yes, of
answer.
course it is. Yeah, that's the most valid answer. It covers everything.
I hate the last minute shopping people. Like those people that you see in stores every Sunday shopping, right? It's the 4th of July, July 3rd, the day before they're out shopping, right? We know those people. And I'm not talking, your Jakes or your Erics or your Jareds that go out and they're like, oh, I just forgot a case. Like, let me get an extra case or two of beer, right? Because all of a sudden I got 3 buddies that are coming over instead of 2, right? So, like, not that I'm picking it up, I'm packing my cart full of shit because I know it's happening. I hate those last minute shoppers and I hate the Sunday shoppers. It's like it's because I don't know. Sometimes I procrastinate all week, and I'm like, I should really go shopping, and then I go to like Walmart, or I go to Target, or I go to Aldi's, and it's just packed full of idiots, and I just want to stab people with rusty spoons and
Jared,
forks.
no, you just said you procrastinate, which would make you one of those last minute shoppers that
Mm-hmm.
as
I
well,
fucking
right?
hate myself. I fucking hate myself for that. Do you know how much I hate myself? Because I walk into Metro Market and I'm like, all these other fucktards are here with me. And I'm like, I'm one of those fucktards, aren't I? And I'm like, yep, I am. And I just look at it and I'm like, let's get it over with. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then I remind myself, that's why you go shopping every Wednesday, you idiot. That's why you go shopping like Tuesday night or Wednesday night or something. You go at night. I can hate myself for something. My
You sure
subconscious,
can.
my subconscious will know about it, and it'll make me a better person.
I don't know if that's how self-hate works, Jared.
That's how self-hate works for Jessica. So I hate that woman.
I mean, as far as ritual like things go, I hate graduation ceremonies. I think they're like the absolute fucking worst idea. But I didn't go to my college graduation ceremony because I hate them so much. I would rather just send me my fucking piece of paper that said I did the thing. I don't need to sit there and listen to some asshole talk for an hour and then watch 100 other people walk across the stage and then walk across the stage. It's who is this for? This is nonsense. I tried not to do it in high school, didn't do it in college. Like multiple of my family members have been like, "You don't have to come." Here's when the party afterwards starts. I don't give a shit if you come to the actual ceremony. I'm like, sweet, that's great.
Awesome. I love that they know that so much about you that is just kind of they give you the grace to bow out of that. It's pretty awesome.
Well, like most of my nieces and nephews agree. Like no one in my family wants to do it. It always pisses my mom off. She's always the one who's like, no, you need to go to it. It's like, let the person who did the fucking thing decide if they want to go to it or not.
I went to my little brother Justin's once, and he was hungover as shit. Like I could still smell the booze on him. And like I got 5 minutes into the ceremony, I was like, I'm done. I want to go home. This is fucking stupid. I like, and our last name is right in the middle of the alphabet. So, like, no, I could see that, Jake. So I don't.
Dude, I'm a V. There were like 2 kids after me when I graduated high school.
That's so dumb, dude. Eric, what about you, brother?
I guess mine would probably fall in. It'd be both a stereotypical ritual. I guess it'd be like the bachelorette or bachelor parties. It's like this whole like just expected debauchery. Like go out and basically have like free reign to theoretically like cheat on your spouse that you're about to get married with. It's like it just seems like especially what you see in pop culture. It's just like
Oh,
the girls always making out with just random dudes, and then vice versa. Like the dudes always trying to like hook up to nail somebody else, before like going through with getting married like the next day or shortly thereafter. So it's like it's both a ritual and like a stereotype that I guess I don't know how much of it like is based in actual life and how much of it is just like what we see in like in media representation. But I mean that always seems like that's what this exists for. Like it's your last chance at like debauchery to go out and like freedom to try to like basically be a salute. So
I've
it's just
only like,
stupid.
yeah, I've only ever like that's the Hollywood portrayal of like what a stag night is, or the night before. Go to a strip club. Go, everyone goes to a strip club. Or they go out, just surround yourself with girls. Like when I thought about like a bachelor party before I got married the first time, I was like, let's go paintballing, guys. Like let's go out and just have fun. Like it's a night that is designated for you to go do what you want to do with your boys before you get married, before your life is committed with this other person, right? Because I mean, usually you don't want to leave your wife behind on a lot of things, right? She may not like paintballing. Okay, well, let me go out my night. I'll go do my paintballing. You go do your video games. You go do whatever you do. That's how I always saw a bachelor party. I saw the shit on. It's the same way like that I talk about the sex scenes, right? In movies. I think a lot of it is just purely exaggerated for content, right? It's
Yeah.
I mean, to
But
some
that's
degree,
so
but like,
prevalent in media to try to basically like say like this is what it's for and this is what the expectation is, I think. So
yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
yeah, sorry Jake. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, it is another one of those where, like, yeah, it's not like the as normal as movies portray, but it is a thing that people do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
The stereotype does exist for a reason. It is a thing that happens.
I feel like that's why I like you guys, because you think like me. It's like you don't have to do all the bullshit that everybody else does, right? You see it in the media, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna walk across the stage. This is stupid. I'm not gonna. My bachelor party is gonna be me and my buddies playing airsoft. Or we're gonna rent in a movie theater and play call it. We're gonna play GoldenEye on the big screen, right? Like, come on
That'd
now.
be cool.
I got two more questions here. I know I'm asking a lot of questions. It's just because I know this is Eric's favorite part of the podcast, so I came with plenty. Uh,
Mhm.
this is another kind of societal thing, and then I got a really dumb one. What are you starting to dislike more as you get older? What is something that you're starting to dislike the more you get older? Grocery stores changing where things are. I never thought I would come to that that
When
thought
you're that last
process.
minute
Yeah,
Sunday shopper.
fuck yeah. When I'm being the goober, right, and I'm in my aisle, and I'm like, they fucking moved the bread again. Like this, like I just want to find my Texas toast so I can make fucking whatever, right? And it like unnecessarily upsets me. So that is something that I start to dislike the more I get older. Because when I was younger, I'm like,
How
whatever, I'll just walk around the
frequently are they
store.
changing things around?
Yeah, I know. Change is
Like,
bad.
how often? Yeah, how often is this happening that you're saying that this is something that like annoys the shit out of you? Like, is this like a weekly occurrence?
No, this is like a monthly occurrence. I rarely ever do my own shopping anymore. Not gonna lie.
Still,
Oh,
that seems like very a quick turnaround for them to be like, who's running a store that they're like swapping everything around on a monthly basis? That seems like
well, dude, when the pandemic started, I found out that you could like order like when you could order groceries and stuff like that from everything. I bought the Walmart Pass, and so it's just I pay like $10 a month and I get free grocery delivery, and it basically cover. I think I save like $5 a month by doing that, right? Because I could have a whole bunch of grocery deliveries. Oh my god, I gotta turn that shit off. My cousins are blowing up the group text chat, and you guys and people can see it on the yeah, because I'm screen capturing the. For those of you who watch the podcast, I'm literally just capturing a Discord screen, and my phone is linked to my PC, and so it'll just pop up if I get text messages, which is fucking awesome. Because it'll be like, Lala, your cousin says this. It's like great, but no, like ever since I got that, like I usually just order because it's easy. I just order groceries, and then because we usually used to do File Entertainment like Fridays, right? And so it'd be nice because File Entertainment would fall on my paydays, which is when I usually go out and get groceries. So instead of running to Walmart, hauling ass back to make it in time for File Entertainment, I can just hit delivery and say, come at 6 o'clock. And so by the time I'm done putting the groceries away, we start File Entertainment. And so it was just a nice, easy, convenient way. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, we don't have to do it, or it's an off week. Let me just go shopping. And I'm like, these fucking assholes moved all the shit around on me. Now I can't find anything.
That's such an old man complaint.
I don't care, man. What? That's what the question was about, man. That's what it was about.
Do you have an answer, Eric? Because I'm struggling with this one.
oh, I get road rage really bad. Like I have to drive like even farther now. Like I think I told you guys like or like I probably complained about it on the show before. Like my company used to be in a certain location, and then like we moved facilities, and so now I have to take the expressway to work, and so it's like it takes me the same amount of time to get there, but the mileage is now double. So I'm driving like double the miles at order, and I always like invariably get behind the person on the expressway that decides that they're gonna go like fucking 40 miles an hour, or I get stuck behind two semi trucks that are just driving like parallel and taking up two lanes like side by side. It's just like I I don't have any patience behind the wheel anymore. I can't stand bad drivers or idiot drivers. It's just like I don't know how many like why or if you're not even gonna go at the very least the speed limit, why are you on the fucking expressway to begin with? It infuriates me. Infuriates me. I have no patience for it.
a good answer.
Thank you.
Jakob?
I don't really have an answer. I'm way more calm now than I was when I was younger. Like,
Okay.
I can't think of a single thing that like everything I can think of has gone like the opposite way.
Okay, well then give us an opposite. What's something that you've calmed down about that you used to be furious as a child about, or as a prepubescent shaman bo person?
I mean, like, even in like college, I was much more like I would go on like rants about just like anything that annoyed me, like all of the tech stuff not working. Like when a video game wouldn't work, I would like lose my shit and go on like an hour-long rant about how this company is so shitty, and I don't know how I take most things in stride now.
That's fair.
It's good. That's the healthier approach.
That's fair. So the final question here, kind of stuck with the theme of scents. What is something that smells great but isn't perfume? What is something that smells really good but isn't perfume?
Coffee.
I'm inclined to agree on that. The scent of a fresh made caribou coffee, cookies and cream, cooler, milkshake with caffeine.
Right from the cabin.
Bro, dude, that when it first comes in the car, I get that whipped cream scent with a little bit of Oreo, and I'm just like, diabetes.
Hey, from cabin to cabin.
Yeah, from cabin. Hey!
We did it, guys. We did it.
We can end the show on that note. You did good, buddy. You did good. No, but seriously, yeah, like I'm with Jake on that. Eric, what about you? What's something that you smell that you absolutely just that you love that's just not perfume?
So I don't know how technically, like when the dogs get a bath, like it's technically not perfume. It's just like shampoo because like we get them a bath like typically like every 4 months or whatever. And so it's just like by the time that they go in, they're all kind of grimy and whatever, and then they come back out and they have they have a wiry coat anyway, so it's like we're used to petting them and them feeling a very certain way, but it's like when I pet another dog and they're like soft, I'm like, oh my god, I forget that like dogs can be this soft. But like the day or two after they've gotten a bath and they're so soft and they just smell so good, it's just like it makes me want to cuddle them even more. And they're dogs that don't typically enjoy a cuddle very much, so it's like I know
Really?
the shit out of them. Yeah, they don't. I mean, every once in a while, like when they're in the field, in the mood, they'll come, lean up against you and they really want you to kind of like pet them and whatever. But for the most part, they kind of just like, do your thing, I'll do mine. Like, you can pet me, but, I'm not going to like lay my head on you or whatever, like, some dogs do. But yeah, the
Ghost,
dogs after they've gotten the bath. Oh,
dude,
so
Ghost
great.
is the big one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Well, they're
Ghost
both
wouldn't leave me
big.
alone. Yeah, Ghost wouldn't leave me alone when I was there. He just would not stay away from me. He was. I fucking had the total opposite experience. Blue seemed very standoffish, but Ghost was just all up on me, just loving me.
Because you were new.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't.
stick around for 5 years every day and it's like, fuck you. Get out of my sight.
Yeah, Jake. I sat down on the ground and Ghost was like, "Oh, you're at eye level now." And he just came up and got in my face, and like I sat on Eric's couch, and Ghost was just like, "Oh, hey, I can just come on you now." And yeah, like Ghost was my little ghost. It was fucking hilarious. I didn't see Wrigley though. I heard him, but I didn't see him. I was kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark only saw him once or twice, and he was here for like a week. So
Yeah.
Does he just hide when there's new people?
yeah, for sure.
I know this is gonna sound really weird, but I have two scents that are competing for the number one spot. Wet bird. Wet bird smells. It's a very odd scent, but I like it. Because like Helios or Blue will take a bath, and then they look like these just drenched wet chickens, and they look annoyed that they took a bath, right? And you just like because if you see, on r/parrots, usually it's Wet Chicken Wednesday, right? Where you show pictures of your birds that have like taken a bath or they've taken a shower with you, and they look so disheveled, and they're like, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone because they're wet, right? They just look hilarious. and the scent that comes off of them is like it's like fresh water, but with bird. And I'm like, you guys smell funny, but I'm just glad you're clean. Just glad you're clean, right? And then
Wet Chicken Wednesday.
yeah, Wet
You know
Chicken
what
Wednesday.
happens.
And then at the University of Stevens Point, Wisconsin, there's a reserve that you can go walk around, and it's got a lake with an island in the middle of it. And like right around this time frame, like as soon as April starts and it gets really really nice and warm outside, the scent of the water and the forest just it's invigorating, and I fucking love it. I think it's the pine trees that are out there, but it's just it's just everything, right? And you'd think it'd be dirty or not well maintained. No, the university pays a lot of money to keep it clean. People are very, very respectful. Like I've seen them eat like granola bars, shove the granola bar in their pocket. Like everyone is super respectful around here. But it's just that fresh nature scent that is just 2 seconds away from like the middle of downtown Point. It's glorious. I fucking love that smell.
Cool. Good answer.
Jared's not stupid. He's just panicking. Row. Can I be honest with you? I thought they were all robots at the zoo. I've never seen one in the wild, so as far as I'm concerned, they don't actually exist. But apparently they do, so that blows my mind.
That is glorious. You guys know she got the raw thing on the first try too? Yeah, like I put in little notes on how to do it. I was like, roll your tongue and then do the raw thing. And then I heard it after Eric's thing, and she was like, oh yeah, I was like, oh, she got it. Shit, all right.